All right, we're on secants and tangents. This week we're finishing up circles. Just a quick review. Y'all learned this a while back when we first started this home instruction, but a secant is a line that passes through 2 points on a circle, so 1, 2. A tangent is a line that goes through only 1 point on a circle, and if it's on the circle, it's on this outer edge. So like C is not on the circle, it's in the circle. Just a little bit of a difference. All right, and then you're gonna need a formula for all of today. It's a neat formula. It's used for secant and tangent problems like the ones that we're doing today. This is our last unit of circles for the most part. We're only gonna go through part 1 today and part 2 on Wednesday, but you're gonna need to write this formula down. An angle, or the angle that we're gonna be finding, is equal to half times big arc minus small arc. So pause the video if you need to, just to get this down. All right. We're gonna start off with a pretty good example problem. All right, so say you gotta find the measure of theta. Theta is this angle in here. You're given this big arc, 145 degrees, which is colored in purple, if you can't really see that. And then we have this smaller arc, which is 55 degrees. Remember, arcs, they have measures and lengths, but right now we're talking about measures, right? This is degrees, and this angle will also be in degrees. So the first thing you're gonna need to pull out is your formula. What was that formula from the first page? Angle is equal to half times the big arc minus the small arc. So let's plug things in. Instead of angle with theta, half stays the same. Your big arc was 145, and you're subtracting your small arc, which is 55. So it's gonna look like that. What should you do first? You should deal with this inside. So what's 145 minus 55? 90. Half times 90, or rather, what is half of 90? Theta equals 45 degrees. And you can't forget the degree symbol. For angles and arc measures, you're using degrees. All right, problem number 2. So they want us to find the measure of arc QT. Let's see. So arc QT, let me get a pen real quick. Arc QT is this one right here. It might end up being more than 180 degrees, which goes against our traditional naming, but QST would have been this way, so we're just gonna assume this one was QT. All right, so we need to first pull out our formula, right, which was the same one we used in the last problem, which is angle is equal to 1/2 times big arc minus small arc. All right, the angle, they actually gave us the angle. The angle's right here. There's only one angle. There's always a big arc, a small arc, and an angle. The angle was 58. The big arc, I don't know what the big arc is, right? So my big arc is just QT. And then my small arc was 89. So let's plug this stuff in. Instead of angle, 58. Instead of big arc, I'll write QT. Instead of small arc, I'll write 89. All right. I'm a bit stuck here, right? I have this 1/2. What can I do to both sides to get rid of the 1/2? I can divide, right, because it's being multiplied, but I can divide by 1/2, or I can multiply by the reciprocal. So I would multiply this by 2 because the reciprocal of 1/2 is 2, and I would multiply this by 2. When I did that, 2 times 58 would end up giving me 116, and then this half and this 2, they cancel. So then I am left with 2 times 58, which is 116. And then I'm just left with arc QT minus 89. To get arc QT by itself, I'd add 89 to both sides. And I end up with arc QT equals 205 degrees. All right. We have a problem number 3, then we have a bonus problem, and that's it for today. in this next problem, we are solving for x. So solving for x in the following. And it looks like this. All right, we have a couple of things. This 200 degrees is my big arc, right? 80 degrees is my small arc. And this right here, although it looks a little bit complicated, this is my angle. So I still need to use my formula, right? Angle is equal to half times big arc minus small arc. Your angle is equal to half big arc minus small arc. Well, what is our angle here? Our angle is 4x plus 4. So instead of angle, I'll be plugging in 4x plus 4. Instead of big arc, I should be plugging in 200. Instead of small arc, I'll be plugging in 80. So when you plug things in, it should look like that. Your angle was this, and so forth. All right, first thing we should simplify is this in here. What's 200 minus 80? 120. Then I can simplify this. 1/2 times 120, or 120 divided by 2. You get 60. Now solving for x should be really easy. First thing you should do to both sides, you have 4x plus 4 equals 60. Subtract 4 on both sides. You have 4x equals 56. You have 4 times x. Opposite of multiplying is dividing. And x equals 14. Pretty clean problem. All right, lastly, we're going to just look at what I think is a bonus problem. Could get a little bit difficult. Regular geometry, you will not see problems this difficult. Well, students in honors will. But it's good to know. So bonus. You have a problem like this, and we need to solve for x. A little bit complicated. How about we go over this problem in our next video? Let's do that instead. All right. That's it for today.